Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode I give you some tips and tricks on how much you should sell your photos. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm a French photographer living in the beautiful city of Paris. And I make 2 tutorials per week. If you click here, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you click here, you can get over 100 RAW files from all over the world, plus a special bonus from this week's episode. All right, last week I showed you how to shoot CTs at night with this photo of the Place de la Victoire in Paris. Check it out if you're in this type of photography. This week I'm not going to give you some retouching techniques, but give you some tips and tricks and my experience on how much you should sell your photos, whether it is interior designs or to websites. Plus, I have a special bonus for you, you will see in that video. Before we get started, I just want to tell you that today is the last day where we have a special deal on our still animation photography from Eric Geisler. An amazing course. You can see some of the animation is going to bring your photos to life. It ends today. So check it out, you have a few more hours. Okay guys, let's get to this tutorial when I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how much you should sell your photography. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs. Just before we get started, I just want to inform you that I created a lot of playlists to help people find some tutorials on very specific subjects. Here you are on the home page of my channel, Serge Ramelli. And if you click here on playlist, I don't know if you're familiar what playlists are, but what they are is basically, just a list of videos on a specific topic. I now have over 118 free tutorials on the web. And so if somebody is just new to this channel, it can be a bit overwhelming, by what do I start? So what I did is that I created playlists. The first one is the PLP tutorials is 118 videos. That is all my tutorial in one playlist. But if you are only interested by portraits, you can click here. You see the 3 videos, landscape 8 videos, panorama 6 videos, the art of black and white 5 videos, interior design, real estate 6 videos, etc., etc. So you also have Photoshop special effects, digital blending, Lightroom presets, HDR tutorials, and then you've got short movies, my best Photoshop CS6 tutorials, my best Photoshop CS5 tutorials, and my best Lightroom 4 tutorials for people that have older versions. So, you just click on play all, and here comes the playlist. So you've got a bit of advertisement, French advertisement. But once you skip the advertisement, here you are, you have the first video and it's just going to play them all. And it's all on the same topic, which is interior design photography. So I thought this was handy for you guys, for somebody who doesn't want to watch all the episodes and just wants to learn a specific topic. And if you have any other ideas of topics you would like me to do on tutorials, just leave me a message, leave me a comment below this video. Okay, what I want to talk to you today is not about retouching or a photographic tip, is about how much money should you charge as a photographer. That's a question I get a lot. For example, when I created my interior design course, you can see here, the whole idea was that it's a 3-hour course, and I try to explain, how to retouch and how to shoot. There's also a lot of live videos on how to shoot, interior design. This has been my main job for 8 years. I've shot, I think, over 100 or 150 hotels. I stopped counting a while ago. Mostly hotels, some restaurants, and some very high-end apartments or houses. And I strongly believe if you're starting as a photographer, that it's a good niche to go into. It's a good way to make money because everything is now run by the web today. I mean, if a hotel, opens up, or a restaurant and doesn't have a website, he's really left behind. So they need, very good photos. And so a lot of people who's been doing that course started making some good, nice interior design photos, but they had no idea how much they should sell the photos for. So I just wanted to give you my experience on it, on how much you should charge for your photography. And so when I actually started with a very complex way of charging, which was, I basically was charging by the hour. I was charging by the hour of shooting and I was charging by the hour of retouching. But this got really confused, and because sometimes, as I got better in shooting and as I got better in retouching, I would spend less and less time in shooting and less time retouching. So I would make better photos for cheaper money. And we don't want to sell the photos for cheap. So, okay, I said, that's it. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to charge per photo. Okay. I'm not saying it's the best system. I'm just giving you my experience on it. An approved photo by the customer who, like example, this one, which has been approved by him. He approved the retouching and I'm going to charge it. So when I started in business, I wanted to get some jobs. I wanted to eat. I wanted to feed my family. I started by, 50 euros. It's about $75 per approved retouch photo. Now, normally, per the union agreements with photographer in France, you're supposed to charge by the year. The photo always belongs to you and you are selling a right to use for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. But then again, that was a system that a lot of hotel managers and restaurants didn't like. They wanted to, buy the photos and have them forever. And so I started off pretty on the cheap, with 50 euros per photos. And so usually when I would shoot a hotel, I would shoot, minimum, 3 photos per type of rooms. They usually have 3-4 types of rooms, like twins, single rooms or double rooms. And so I would have minimum 20 photos. So 20 photos would give me about €1,000 per shoot, which is not so much because it's a lot of work. Sometimes I would shoot, for 1 or 2 days but it's not so bad. I would work a week and make €1,000. It's not so bad. But, as I grow more competent and I had a better reputation and I started doing some very nice hotels, I eventually came up to €100 per photos. And eventually now I'm in the 150 to 200 euros per photos. But that's because I did some famous hotels in Paris and, they liked the work and I started having a reputation. For example, this hotel, which is the Hilton Champs-Élysées, I charged, 7,000 or 8,000 euros to do the whole shoot. And it was about 100 to 150 per photos. And it was quite some photos. So this is my advice to you. If you're starting off and you want to do interior design photography, starts at €50. And as soon as you got a few customers, you can go to 75, then 100 and 150. And I mean, honestly, the sky is a limit on this, But normally, if you're doing a nice 40-room hotel, you should charge minimum, when you're starting €1,000 minimum, and when you're getting good 2,000 to 3,000, and when you have a better reputation, about 5,000 to do the entire shoot. Now, on my my invoices, I always gave the rights forever, and I gave the rights for the website. I gave the rights for the newspapers because a lot of hotels have newspapers articles, and for brochure. So I gave all the years and all the rights, So it's a good deal because I remember when I started in the business, there was a company in Paris that used to make photos for brochures. And whenever the hotels wanted to use the photos for their website, they asked for money again. And the hotels managers hated that. They're willing to pay more money, but they want to have the rights forever. So that's the way. I'm not, there's probably some other system. I'm not saying that my system is the best. I'm just sharing experience. Also, one day I came across a document which I'm going to give you for free, which is pretty hard to find. And it's in French, but I'll show you a way to translate it in English, which is really cool. It's an amazing document. And what it is it's basically this. In 2010, the UPP, which is Union of Professional Photographer, basically it's a union of professional photographer in Paris, the biggest one. They sat down and they said, okay, we need to find a way so that photographers don't sell the photo for cheap. So they made a price list, which is amazing because it has everything you can think of. Let's say, for example, that a website contacts you and says, oh, I love your photo that you shoot of the Grand Canyon. I want to use it for my website. Okay. Well, they have a whole thing on the internet, which you find page number 15. And it's based, I think it's very clever. It's based on how much people is per month watching the website. For example, anybody, let's say it's a very small website. It's like a real estate agency. They just want a nice photo of the city, and they have less than 1,000 hits, connections per month on their website. And you are selling them just one photo. Well, per that price list, and And that's the point. And that's the only thing I don't like about it. And this, I'll tell you how I do it. If you give the rights for 3 months, you should charge them for one photo, 32 euros. If you give the rights for 6 months, 41 euros. If you give the rights for a year, 49 euros. For 2 years, 57 euros. And for any additional years, 15 euros. So what I would do, because people, you're not going to come back 2 years later and say, hey, you owe me money. That's not going to work. I think that the system that the union created, it would be great, so you would have money, a lot of rights out there, and you would collect money every year. But in practical, this probably only works with big companies, Microsoft or what. You can make a deal like that. But the small restaurant around the corner, or a small real estate agency, they're not going to go for that. They just want to buy the photo and never see your face again, and just they might like you, but they don't want to have to pay you every 2 years. So what I would do is I would take the 2 years price, 57 euros, and then I would take the per additional year price, so 16 euros times 5 for at least 5 years. So that would be another 15 times 5 is 75 euros something, plus 57. So that would make it 125 euros, which is about $150 if it was a very small website. Now let's say that it's a big website, you have between 1,000 to 5,000 connections a month, between 5,000 to 25 connections a month, over 25,000, over 100,000, over 100,000 to 250, and it goes to maximum is 500,000 connections per month. At this point, the photo would be 5 times 74, which is probably like 350 plus 266. So that would be like 600 euros, like about $800, because it's a big website. So I find that this union, they did an amazing job. I mean, you've got everything there. Like, let's say somebody wants to make a calendar with your photo. You got, same thing, circulations. Let's say somebody wants to, make posters, it's got every possible thing you can have, being used in a movie or whatever. This work is so complete that it can really help you to figure out how much you should charge your photo. Now, the only problem is that it's in French, and the only problem is that you might not speak French. But I'll show you a little trick. Once you've got a PDF file, and the way you're going to get the PDF file is you're going to have to go to my website, and you have to, usually you have to subscribe to the blog newsletter. You have to subscribe to sign up now, sign up on my newsletter, and you're going to get this page. This is what I call the goodies page. Basically what it is that you've got every show I ever made. So the 118 was the last show. This one is a 119, so it's not on there yet. But you will see there is a direct download. And this time, as I'm not doing a raw file, you actually can get access to all the raw files I ever made since episode number 1. So you're talking hundreds of raw files. But for that episode, you will get this price list for free. Once you've got the price list, you can go to Google Translate, and you have the possibility to choose a file. So you choose a PDF file that you downloaded, and you choose your language, in this case English, and this is what you get. Now it's in English. It did the best it could to translate it. It's a very approximated translation, but it can help you. Advertisement, all display network, metro outside the vehicle, street furniture for maximum period of 3 months. Less than 100 copies, 810 euros, blah blah blah, etc. You can still figure it out. If you don't understand any of the French. It's not television and film, number of photographs, how much they should charge you. I'm not saying it's the way it should go. I'm saying that some people are totally lost. They have no idea how much they should charge a photo. And believe me, this document is going to help you a lot. It helped me a lot because not more than yesterday, a website contacted me and wanted 5 photos from me for some travel website selling Paris. Now, I don't know if it's a big travel website. So my first question is, okay, what's the average users you have per month? How many people is visiting your website? Based on that, I go and I just send them the price. And I sometimes send this document as the reference saying, this is the price list from the Union of Photographers in Paris. This is how much you should charge. It helps to give an idea. All right. And basically that's all. That's my only tip of the week, but I believe it's a very useful one for anybody who is starting, in the business of photography. I have some friends who are starting right now and trying to do portfolios for actors, Now, they are really starting very low. What they do is they charge about 150 euros for 1 hour shoot. They retouch 10 photos. I think that's as low as it gets. I know some other people are doing the same thing for 500 or 1,000, for 1 or 2 hour shoot for 10 to 20 photos. Wedding photographers. I have some friends also who just started a wedding photography business. His first 3 weddings, I think he sold them for about 600 euros. There was no video, it was just photos. But then as he got better, now he's around selling 2,000 euros for weddings. I know some people do very high weddings for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or $30,000, including videos. They have video team, the sky is the limit, on anything, even for interior design. I know a girl who made a photo for a hotel, but she was very known. She charged the hotel $23,000 for about 30 photos of the hotel. And it's a very small hotel, but the owner really liked that photographer and was willing to pay that much money, but in the same hotel, I would have charged about $3,000 to $4,000. So it's really all about reputation. It's really about your portfolio. My advice is really, I use Squarespace, and Squarespace actually sponsor my show, but I choose them as a sponsor because I just love them. And my big advice to you is really make a website with your best photo. So that's what I did. I have Paris, I have landscape, I have Venice, I have portraits, I have interior, and then it's contact or want the same portfolio, which is the way I sponsor my episodes. And one of the big mistakes I see, because I get a lot of new photographers writing me, they want to know how much to charge the photos, but they also want to know, they are sending me their website. And one of the biggest mistakes I see is that they got tons of photos on their website. They got like 80 photos. On the 80 photos, 10 are amazing, 70 is so-so. My advice to you is, if you're starting in a business, make a website. You can go to Want the Same Portfolio. You can click here. I'll show you how to make it with Squarespace. You can get 10% if you use my website. If you click here to get started and you use PhotoSurge as a coupon, we have to pay the bill also. But I really believe in Squarespace a lot. I think they are really awesome. But my advice is don't use too much photos. Like for example, this is Venice. If you click here, you can see, I've got about, 15 to 20 photos, but I took, I think 1,000 photos of Venice when I was there. And I've only put on my portfolio like 20 photos. It's really like my best photos there. So I don't, I don't put 400 photos. So you have to learn to edit your own portfolio and make it, just the minimum. The minimum, just put your best work out there. And that's my advice on how to get started. Now, if you guys have any other advice that could help out all these young photographers which are starting and which are writing me, you can just leave comments and give your own experience. How much do you charge? I'm very open with how much I charge. I don't have I think it's, some people are very mysterious about how much they charge a photo, what they are. I'm very open about it, and I'm just trying to give a hand and help you guys getting started in this amazing journey of being a photographer, because it's the best job in the world. I really believe so. Okay, well, thank you very much, and let's get back to me. All right, guys, I hope you like this tutorial, and it's a bit different than usual, but I hope you did learn something or it helped you. If you've got better ideas than me or other advice you want to give, just leave some comments in the YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Au revoir.